just Laurel and Hardy here, huh?
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello. So
Martin and Lewis.
there you go. That's one that not many people would recognize.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, are you recording now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So that was a very different game in which, against the Minnesota, in which in one injury, we lost our best wide receiver and we lost our best running back. In Deebo Samuel's groin pull. And that's going to put a big cog in our offense. And I hate seeing that, especially going into the Seahawks next week, because we really don't play well consistently against the Sea Chickens.
I agree with that totally.
So, but it was a pretty good game. They surprised me when they came out and didn't do like the previous two games that were very successful and started running, instead of running down their throats, they came out passing, which surprised the heck out of me. What do you think?
Well, I kind of expected that.
You did? Why?
Yeah, because Minnesota had a really strong run defense and set up the run with the pass.
Yeah, but their four down linemen are not any of the guys they started the season off with. Their down linemen, the four down linemen they started with, were all injured. So this was a whole new set of four down linemen. And let's face it, as soon as they started running the ball off tackle, they started moving the ball. And it opened up the pass. So, I don't know, maybe they outthought themselves.
Oh, that could be. But they won.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
And the other important part was the Sea Chickens lost, so they're 3-8. Yay! Yeah. But I've watched the replay, and offensive line was okay, and I still want to see more pressure on the quarterback, especially this week, and we got to contain him. But what was good about the defense last week was you were hearing a lot more linebackers making tackles and not defensive backs.
Yes.
And, Minnesota had about 3 good running plays, but other than that, their running game wasn't all that great. And linebackers were making tackles.
Well, I think both the offense and defensive lines really stepped up last game.
Right.
Thought they did a marvelous job.
I like this Jones guy.
Oh, DJ?
Number 93. I watched, and he runs over guys.
Yes, he does.
And so I'm somewhat. Armstead needs to show up. He hasn't shown me much this year.
Well, he's been occupying 2 blockers almost all the time.
Well, sometimes, not all the time.
Most of the time.
Well, so, the guy who gets 2 guys all the time is Bosa.
Well, they don't have to do 2 guys. They tackle him every time. They hold him.
Yeah. But the other thing that scares me about next week is that our linebacking core is decimated.
Well, we'll talk about next week after this video.
Yeah, but
this is just Minnesota. Yeah, we did lose some people, but that doesn't mean they're actually going to be gone.
Well, I don't see Greenlaw coming back this week. And to be honest with you, I haven't heard much on what Warner's injury is and whether he's coming back. So,
Well, Greenlaw's got a considerable amount of rust on him.
yeah, well, he re-injured what kept him out for 9 games. So I don't think Greenlaw coming back right away either.
Well, Debo took a dive because he felt the twinge in his groin and then just called it right there to keep it to a bare minimum.
Right. Which was smart because at that point we were ahead, and he's just a great guy, great player.
Well, what do you think of our offensive line work?
Pretty good. Run wise, very good. Pass protection, I'll give him a C plus B minus because they were getting in Garoppolo's face pretty much.
Yeah.
The way I wish our defensive line would. And defensive backfield, sort of a B minus. Hufunga sort of got lost a couple times on, especially on that touchdown pass to Thielen.
Yeah.
Where Cousins rolled out to the left and Hufunga just bit on Jefferson going towards the corner and forgot his assignment in the middle there.
Yeah.
But, otherwise, defensive backfield was fair. Linebackers, I think, had the best game they've had in a long time. Defensive line was okay, need more pressure. But they did pretty good,
Well, the D-line took Cousins out of the game, basically. I mean, he looked terrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, linebacker Al-Shaair, interception. It was only the second interception of Cousins in the year.
Well, yeah, but there was the defensive line that caused that interception.
Yeah, it was a good defensive showing because you got with the score, you got to remember one of the scores was on a kickoff return. So
yeah,
they held Minnesota down to 3 touchdowns. So that was pretty good.
I think our weak point of the whole game was the special teams.
Yeah, well, they had some great return coverage and they had horrific return coverage. It was either or on that. So, and remember when I told you if Wisnowski doesn't kick it into the end zone this time, he better think twice after the guy returned that one. And Robbie Gould disappointed me on the miss of the 41-yard field goal, which would have taken the mystery out of the ball game late in the game, but he missed that one, and that scared me. But yeah, Minnesota would have had to score a touchdown and a 2-point extra point in order to tie it. But with those extra 3 points, it was out of reach.
Yeah.
So, but you asked me right after the game, who was MVP?
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Who?
Mitchell. Running back.
Oh, Mitchell.
Mitchell, and I wanted to go with him because I'm tired of saying Debo. Because actually Debo with the 49-yard run and then the touchdown and 2 touchdowns.
Who was your defensive standout?
defensive standout. I'll say Alshire.
It's kind of hard not to, even
Yeah.
though he missed a tackle.
Yeah, but that was a matchup with Jefferson, and
Well, he made up for it with an interception and a fumble recovery. So
yeah.
he played a
Well,
fairly good game other
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
my offensive player of the game was Ayuk.
who? Ayuk? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
3
That's a good one.
catches for over 90 yards, and he
Yeah.
blocked his butt off.
You know, I think he finally got the message from
Yeah.
Shanahan, because that was what they were complaining about, was he wasn't putting the effort in for blocking. And you're right, every time a nice run goes, he's downfield and he's got a hook on the defensive back. And so, yeah. And so who was defensive?
Oh, Aziz.
Who? Oh,
That's
Alshire.
Alshire. That's his
Alshire, yeah,
Aziz
yeah.
Light. Anyway, yeah, and I've started something new. I'm giving an offense and defensive line
Oh, best.
standout.
Okay. It can't be Tomlinson on the offense because he had 2 critical holding penalties. You're going to get tired of going with Williams for offensive. And defensive is I'm going to go with Jones.
DJ.
Yeah, I think he plays a good clogging up the middle.
Well, offensively, I'm going with somebody that I've been pretty critical of here lately, and that's Mac.
Yeah.
Every time something happened, I saw his number downfield. And when I came home and watched the game again and checked it, man, that guy, he was blocking and running and blocking and getting in the way and doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, I don't know if it was Brunskill or Mac who was downfield in front of Debo.
That was Brunskill.
Blocking. Was it Brunskill? Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing speed.
Well, I've been pretty high on Brunskill when no one else was.
But him getting downfield in front of Debo, he must have taken off right at the start of the play for him to get down that far.
Tight end in college.
Was he?
Played at San Diego State.
Because being down that far, if it was just 10 yards downfield, okay, but that was 30, 40 yards downfield.
Yeah, I was way down there. Debo overtook him, but
and the other one that Mac was in on was the screenplay to Kittle down towards the end zone. He was out in front blocking people too.
Well, if you watch, I watched the all 22, and that Mac was just really busy that game, and he was in the defense's way all the time and making good blocks. And he only had a couple of times where he kind of got driven back. But,
they've got to make a decision on right tackle. This Moore and Compton.
Well, it's whoever's healthy. I thought Compton did a fairly good job. In fact, I think he did a really good job.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. Is he ever going to be all pro? No. The guy who has a chance, if he comes around and has the wherewithal to fit into the offense, is Moore, because he's got all the physical attributes that you need. He has speed, he has size.
Well, they drafted him to replace Williams down the line.
Well,
he's a left tackle, and he's learning to play right tackle. And you think, well, tackle's a tackle. Well, it's not.
Yeah,
everything's backwards.
Well, he's got to replace Staley right away.
And my defensive lineman of the game was Ebukam. he was harassing the quarterback. He made tackles on the runs. He was all over the place.
Huh? I didn't realize, I didn't see much of him. I'll have to watch it again and see what he's done. I did see something that was very disappointing. Was on the last play of the game, Bosa did a loop and he went from defensive end towards the middle. And the guy caught up to him and was blocking him. And it was obvious Bosa just gave up. He stopped.
Huh.
He didn't even try to spin around, or he just
Last play of the game.
Yeah, but it was a key. You know, the guy could have been throwing a Hail Mary. So you don't stop ever. You don't
Maybe
know.
he pulled something too.
You would have heard he would have been on an injury report, and I haven't heard him on an injury report.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but that was disappointing. But he gets chipped every play, and that's got to get tiring after a while. But